Planet Zoo has been rated E10 by the ESRB for crude humor, mild blood, and mild violence. It has been approved for all players aged 10 years and up. Hey there, folks. This is Jack. Welcome back to the Harmony Point Zoo. We're going to go ahead and build that antelope habitat that I was talking about earlier. Before we do, let me check, see if we have any alerts that need taken care of. Conceived offspring, new animal, conceived offspring. Okay, nothing here that needs to be taken care of. The zoo is running really well. Now, I should warn you before I get into this that I may just very well yawn in your ear 2 or 3 times. As I record this, it is 3:30 in the morning. I've been lying in bed sick all day and sleeping, trying to sleep off my illness. And as a result, I'm wide awake now. I'm feeling better, but I'm not 100%, as you can probably hear by the fact that I keep going. I've got the drips on top of everything else. My fever, however, has broken. Anyway, I decided, you know what? I should do a video. The primary reason I'm doing the video, I'll be honest, is because I haven't done one, and tomorrow is a normal video drop day, and I don't want to keep making excuses if I miss a day. So anyway, I'm going to get into the build. We are not doing a speed build. I've stopped doing those. So I cannot guarantee how long this video will be. If it's overly long, that's you guys' fault for telling me to stop making speed builds. I listen to my subscribers. Anyway, so yeah, I've had a little bit of a cold the last couple of days. It's typical what happens with me in the autumn. I know you guys know, I know I've said it before, that I live in South Florida. In the town of Melbourne, specifically on the Atlantic coast. We weathered the hurricane pretty well, had some high winds, but no flooding here. Couple of days of rain. But, and this is the thing for me, the temperature dropped, and the temperature dropped prodigiously. I mean, we honestly, it dropped like 20 degrees. And for people who are used to it staying around 90 degrees all the time, suddenly having it be 70 is awful. And I know those of you who are in the north are going, what do you mean, 70 degrees? 70 degrees is downright warm. Yeah, not down here where it's semi-tropical. Down here, 70 degrees is downright freaking Arctic. And I make no excuses for it. There's a reason, aside from the fact that I was born in Florida, there's a reason I live here. And that is that I was traumatized one year. I served in the Army in the 80s. And they sent me to freaking Kansas as my duty station. Fort Riley, Kansas, with the 1st Infantry Division. Let me tell you something about the only thing I know about Kansas, the only thing I need to know about Kansas. The second winter I was there, it got down to 60 below zero with wind chill. So my attitude is fuck Kansas, fuck snow. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. And you shouldn't expect me to, because I'm just not. Okay, now that I have this basically worked out, let's do a little terrain modification. But so I live in Florida because I don't like it. I don't like the cold. I don't like snow. Once every 20 years is enough snow for me. I'll tell you that for nothing. Okay? And that's about how much snow we get. It's about once every 20 years. That was too deep. I didn't want it that deep. And it only lasts a couple of days. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I live in Florida for a reason. That is so I can stay warm. There was this one woman I remember. She was at Disney standing in line in front of me. And she kept going on and on and on about the bugs down here, the roaches and the bugs. And I turned to her and I said, "Lady, in all my entire life, I have never had to shovel bugs out of my driveway in the winter. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the only consideration. I've never had to shovel bugs off my driveway in the winter." So I live in Florida intentionally. I don't remember. Have I explained about the truth about the Florida man phenomenon? If not, I really should. I think I have. I think I remember explaining it about how it's not really a thing. It's a side effect of some of the public information laws we have down here. Anyway, so yeah. And on top of it all, I've got the Benadryl problem going on right now. If you don't know what the Benadryl problem is, it's the fact that Benadryl is great for fighting allergies and cold symptoms, but it makes you high as a kite. Did he just admit that he's playing Planet Zoo while he's high? Yes, I did. It's not the first time, won't be the last. I take several drugs, some of which count as narcotics. Painkillers, allergy medicines, But I assure you, it won't inhibit my ability to play the game. I just make things slower, but it happens. Now, in the interest of honesty and clarity, I should say that I'm taking inspiration for this build from Caesar Creates, who's an amazingly talented Planet Zoo creator. If you're not watching his videos, you really need to be, because the man's a genius. He did a habitat, and I went, oh, and immediately saw what he was getting at and thought it was a brilliant idea. And so this is me adapting some of that idea. It's not going to be a direct lift. I never do direct lifts. If I wanted to do direct lifts, I would download entire habitats from the workshop and do them that way. But it's inspired by one of his habitats, and it was a good habitat and it was a brilliant idea, so I'm going with it. Like I said, it's not a direct lift. Caesar, if you're watching this, know this. I've got an utmost respect for you, buddy. You are a Planet Zoo genius, and I really want to collaborate with you someday. Keep it in mind. Contact me, please. What do you think? Collaboration with Caesar Creates on a zoo sometime? I would go bug nuts over that. And we got rain like normal. Let's turn on the build light. Now, I was inspired by Caesar Creates' build. He said he was inspired by a zoo he saw in Poland, I believe. Might have been Czechoslovakia or Germany or Denmark or, another Central European or East or Western European country. I can't remember. So, I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong, but this ultimately is inspired by a real-life zoo, which is always cool. I've done builds inspired by real-life zoos before. One of my most ambitious zoo projects was basically rebuilding my version of a zoo in France. And I've got one on the channel where all the pathwork is modeled on the pathwork in the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. I didn't put the animals in the same places, but all the paths match. A lot of people are right now are going, Jack, why are you using these pieces? Why not some fancy pants custom pieces? And I go, because I don't want to. I don't need to. I use fancy pieces all the time, but right now I want to use Basic logs. Because there's nothing wrong with a basic log set. I'm going to make this a little darker, like so. Oh, come on, really? Alright, I'll just have to recolor the rest of it. And this, of course, is going to be our primary shelter. Oh, good, snow. We're getting snow, guys. It's snowing again. I'm gonna have to adjust the positioning of the barriers, I think. Okay, won't be doing that then. Okay, I know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it like this. My original idea was okay. It was just pretty good. It worked, except the spacing wasn't right. But aesthetically, it was just fine. And we'll put the door here. And then readjust the barriers so it is like so. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. There's a neat effect that you can do where you sink these mud floors into the actual ground and these mud roofs, like so. Okay, and we'll get the roof isn't going to take that long at all. We're not going to use, for this next bit, we are not going to use an African fence. Okay, and just a little bit more, and our shelter will be finished. Now I have the hiccups. Isn't that grand? I hate the hiccups. I hate the hiccups with a passion. I hate the hiccups. This fence seems to have turned into my utility infield room. You notice that? A little adjustment in the spacing, little adjustment in the placement. Like so. Okay, now comes the upper part of the wall. Part that people can see through. And wait, no, that's wrong. They're not standing there looking at through that. And it's raining again. Isn't that a joy? Of course, this is a big build, and it's taking, it's taking a little time. We've already gone through 2 years of in-game time just to build this thing. Got 2 alerts I haven't even taken a look at yet. So I finally started, after watching nothing but clips on YouTube, I finally started watching Ted Lasso, and I get it. I get the hype. I understand why everybody thinks that show is so fucking wonderful. Because it is. It is amazing. An amazing show. Thank you to everybody who said, no, you really do need to watch this. I appreciate it. Ooh, okay. Oh, my eyes feel like boiled onions, guys. Oh, hey, it's moving along, right? The build is moving along. I'm watching all the content creators out there for Planet Zoo, and a lot of them are now doing stuff for Planet Coaster 2, and I was never really into Planet Coaster 2, or Planet Coaster, the first Planet Coaster, as much as I was into Planet Zoo. I did like Coaster Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon, which was Frontier's first attempt at a theme park simulator. But Planet Coaster just never caught my attention in the same way, nor did it catch my attention in the way that Planet Zoo did. Obviously. Will I be getting Planet Coaster 2? Almost certainly. Will I be playing it on the channel? Yeah, probably. Will it take up as much space on the channel as Planet Zoo does? Absolutely. Nothing is going to take up as much space on the channel as Planet Zoo does. This is not an exclusive, despite what it looks like, it isn't an exclusively Planet Zoo channel because I do play other games. It's just I haven't done that in a while, and the overwhelming majority of my content is, in fact, Planet Zoo. But the truth is, I do other things too. I just haven't felt like recording a new series in a while for some other game. I've got other games, it's just none of them have caught my fancy. I'm sitting looking at them go, I should really play something else. And it's like, okay, what do you want to play? Well, I don't know. I'm like, all right. You know, this is an actual conversation I have with myself. I'm like, okay. You have options. And I said, yeah, I have options. But I'm not particularly fond of any of those options right at the moment. Which is, of course, the problem. All right. Looks like the alerts have resolved themselves, which means either an animal has died or I missed something. No path to destination. Oh, okay. Right, I knew I was forgetting something. There we go. Oh, come on, man. What the hell? Breed habitat species. Very good. Okay. Desert antelope. Every month, every month, every month. Oh, just in time to snow. Let's go ahead and put it in work zones so the animals don't starve while I'm finishing my work with them. Okay, at least they got keepers. Custodians. I'll do this, but you know, I've got to do it again later when I lay down the education talk point. Okay, maintenance. Security. Vendors. I don't know why I put everything in the vendors, but I do. And veterinary. Okay, and while I'm doing this, let me do this. While I'm doing this, let me do this. I'll do this over there. There's this fantastic criticism of the film Plan 9 from Outer Space, a movie that is widely held to be the worst film ever made. And at one point, there's a scene where the female lead has her arms around the neck of the male lead. And neither of these people are professional actors, mind you. But she's got her hands around her neck. And, you know, the story involves UFOs and the Air Force, and it's really stupid. But the male lead says something about being worried about the UFOs. And without moving her hands from around her neck, she goes, oh, you know, basically she goes, oh, come on. The UFOs are out there. and you'll be up there, and I'll be safe in there, without once indicating what she means by there, and there. It's hilarious. And horrible writing all at the same time. That one. Use that one. There we go. Now, what do we got for toys? We'll put down the food toys first, naturally. Okay, we got a dog ball. We can put that over here. Basically just drop it in place. We have a hanging feeder. Hanging feeders are always cool. And I love using the pre-built feeders that I've got. Don't ever be ashamed to use blueprints, especially blueprints that you yourself put together, because you created them for a reason, right? The watermelon down here. Ah, one of these guys. Scarecrow feeders. Fun idea. And we'll put a barrel over here. Now for toys. Can't have too many mouth balls. Rubbing pillar. For that, we go back to the blueprints. A scratching tree, sure. Let's see about the terrain and such. Okay, the terrain for the Dama Gazelle is just fine. The terrain for the Adax needs more sand. I can do sand. Okay, it looks like it's good. However, there's one thing I want to add just because I love these trees. Umbrella thorn acacia tree. Not really a desert tree, but I don't care. Make sure your animal's needs are met, and then build what you want. And if you want a grassland tree in the middle of a desert habitat, then you give yourself a grassland tree in the middle of a desert habitat. Don't feel ashamed about it. Now, there's a lot I can do with this spacing, and I do intend to do it, but I'm not going to do it in this video. This video is already running long. I'm also not going to put down the benches and the educational signs and things like that. However, I am going to do this. And we're just going to put in a little bit of rock work. Just a touch of rock work. Like so. Okay, biome. Desert. All right. Our desert animal habitat is finished. We've got a couple of ways to view the animals. This direction, if only limited, and the big, wide wall of fence. Like I said, I will be finishing this part, this trench here. I'll be covering this trench off camera. I'll also be adding the educational signs and all that number off camera. I have not yet decided what I'm going to do next. I'm thinking about branching off into a new area now that we've been covering Africa pretty heavy. I may just end up filling these areas, you know, keep working on African habitats until these areas are finished. But I may also start with something new. Let me know what you guys want. Do you want me to do something new? Do you want me to keep working on African animals? Please comment in the, comment in the comments. I know that's redundant and sounds silly, but you know what I mean. And I will talk to you later. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.
Solution, you could be a part of it. There's a revolution, you could be the start of it. Better get a move on while there's still a chance of it. If there's no improvement, this could be the last of it. Nature was a haven, now we need saving. No more conversation, time for cultivation. We all got a part to do to help the world pull through. But you gotta build a zoo. This is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The forest protected shall prosper, the forest neglected shall die. You've an aptitude to change attitudes, cause we have to prove it. That planet to grab your shovel. Let's work to do, the world's in trouble. You gotta build